Well, we've had all sorts of emotions. What a tournament and what a way to finish it as well. Let's get the thoughts from out in Melbourne. Pat Cash is with Catherine. Did you enjoy that little show, both of you?
I don't think we were alone in enjoying that show. The people here are streaming out of Rod Laver Arena as we speak, and they're in stunned silence, really. They know they've seen something very special, very magical tonight. Just moments ago, they made an announcement publicly here that Roger Federer would be appearing with the trophy on the Margaret Court Arena for all the fans that came in with a grounds pass today. And there was a stampede up the steps of Margaret Court Arena to try and get in there. Something very, very special has happened here tonight, hasn't it, Pat?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've got two of the great warriors in tennis, and here they were. We never expected to see them in the final. We certainly, they didn't expect to see themselves in the final. I think they were both really excited about the fact that they could produce this sort of tennis. And you know, it was a little up and down match. It had sort of ebbs and flows. It was fascinating. I don't think both of them were actually really at their peak, which is no surprise really, considering what's happened the last few years. But the fifth set was just phenomenal as far as tension goes, and you know, I think there's the fact that Federer had probably a little bit more in the tank. He hits a flatter shot. He's able to hit through the court and hit a few winners, and just the pressure that he could apply on Rafa, who, you know, he's just a little bit tired and couldn't really hit as much winners and get 3 points on his serve. So he was doing it tough, Rafa, and you know, it was a phenomenal performance for him to get as close as he did. But just a little class and the extra winners from Roger in the end, and you know, that was about it. It was phenomenal. A
little class, I think we'll call that an understatement, Pat. I know you personally don't love the greatest of all time debate, and the fact that people sort of so readily hand that title to Roger Federer, and perhaps has short memories with regards to the likes of Rod Laver, etc. But looking at the story, 35 years of age, 6 months out on the sidelines with injury following surgery. This is up there with one of the all-time magical sporting stories, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, I think whoever won it was going to be one of those unbelievable stories. You know, Rafa has certainly been out injured a lot this year. Roger had, of course, had the surgery, you know, earlier last year, and then decided to take a whole bunch of time out. And it just goes to show that you know, if you come back fresh, and you know, he's got, you know, you know, his greatest rival was right there nipping at his heels the whole time, and he's got a, you know, had psychological advantage over him so many times, and it looked like for some reason that he would get over that as well. So look, it was one of a classic encounter. It may not have been the quite up to the standard that I don't know, what we saw at Wimbledon a few years ago, but you know, the tension, it was phenomenal, and for them to produce this sort of tennis, as I said, it really is incredible. And now, I don't like to say who the greatest player of all time is, and I won't, because it's just no way to tell, you know. But for Rod Laver to be up there giving that trophy, and of course we remember Rod Laver winning 4 Grand Slams in '62, 4 Grand Slams in '69, and in between he wasn't allowed to play. So, and he gave it 11. So, you know, I'd like to point out that even if he won one, he would be one each year. He would be ahead of Roger Federer. I mean, he'd probably won 3 or 4. So, you know, you've got to put these things into all of perspective. But the bottom line is that these two guys are two of the greatest warriors we've ever seen, and they produce some goods today.
And that will have certainly meant so much to Roger receiving that trophy from Rod Laver. He really respects and appreciates the history of the game, doesn't he? In that acceptance speech on the court there, Pat, he said, "I hope to be back next year, but if I'm not," which you don't usually hear Roger say. Do you read anything into that?
Absolutely. I mean, he realises he's coming to the end, and you know, much like Pete Sampras, who said, you know, I think I've got another slam in me, went out there and played amazing tennis and won the US Open, and then said, that's it. Not often can you go out on top. I think he felt like he had some unfinished business this year, didn't he, Roger? To say, okay, I've still got some life left in me. He kept losing a lot of those 5-set matches. He kept in recent years, and thought, he just lost the edge a little bit, but he's come back fresh and he's enjoying his tennis. And maybe this is the first time in a long time he's actually feels, I've got nothing to lose. I've always been the favourite. I've always been the one who's had to win, and now I don't have to be. And he just goes out there and swings away. And that 5th set showed that, you know, he didn't have anything to lose, and he kept cracking backhand winners. And unbelievable stuff.
Unbelievable. Glorious to see him playing tennis like that. Glorious to see both of them playing tennis like that and enjoying this sport so much. We keep saying it, but tennis really has been the winner here in Melbourne this fortnight. Something very, very magical has happened here in Melbourne tonight, and we feel very grateful, Pat, I think, to have enjoyed it here.